It's On the Field with Jon and Jarad, brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group, right here on Cool FM Live. Now your hosts, Jon and Jarad.
Hey, welcome everybody. On the Field with Jon and Jarad. We're back for another show to get out some good information. Got some exciting news coming back. Once again, this Buena baseball team is just smoking hot right now, Jon. These guys are just flying around and hitting the ball, and we're going to have a surprise here in a few minutes. We got a special guest from the Buena baseball team joining us here. So, first of all, we'd love to thank Ed Morse Automotive Group for all your support and for all your needs that you need. You want to get a new car? We got a great inventory going on over there since Ed Morse is taking over our former Lolly Automotive, and you know, Ed Morse is doing some exciting things and loves
Hyundai. He's got the great Hyundai lot. Yeah. I highly recommend going out there. There was a Passport we saw last week, decked out. He's got just about every kind of vehicle. Yeah,
fully loaded trucks. And
that's all we ever touch is that max out stuff.
Yeah, so, man.
I'd like to thank American Southwest Credit Union. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring our show. We couldn't do this without you. You know, when you're going to get a loan and you need to get some stuff done at the bank, go talk to American Southwest Credit Union.
Great people for sure. So let's talk about a little bit of baseball. We've got some wonderful highlights to show the fans, and you know, we've seen some incredible work this week. We had a doubleheader, home and home, what they would call in the schedule. We played at home and then we played away, versus the Nogales Apaches, who prior to that first game, they were third in the state, and then we had them come into Sierra Vista, and they didn't know what was coming at them, and a lot of momentum was carried over from that game prior to Nogales coming in with that big victory against Mountain View. So you know, we got some great highlights to show you here with the first Buena Nogales game.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. That first game, I think, what was the score on that?
First game, we won 5-4.
5-4, that's right. And it was a super tight game. There was a home run. There was two home runs. There was an in the park home run.
Yes.
And there was a big old jack by big boy Brandon Brown.
This guy's got the hammer down ever since that one went out of the park. He's been frothing at the mouth, just going after it. He wants that long ball now.
And he's a center field homer hitter. Man, that kid just bombs him out of town. That was a lot of fun. And then the second game they played against Nogales. Holy cow! 14-4. Are you kidding me?
It was an incredible windstorm that comes in out of nowhere.
Oh, dude! So
we're gonna see some of that, I'm sure too.
when you're watching Brandon Brown's home run, just know that ball was hit higher than it was hit far, and that wind took it just super far out there. It was great to see. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch those two games. So we would like to go to those highlights and check those out, show them off to you.
The Colts have won their last 4 games and put up 47 runs during that time. However, we'll pause on that thought. In just a second, ball bounces over the head of the shortstop, and Cushman will round first base, and he will head to second. The ball get by both outfielders. Cushman heads to third, and he is being waved home for an inside the park home run by Austin Cushman.
Man, I'm expecting a home run.
Well, and if there's anybody who could do it, we've seen him do it before, and he almost did it 2 innings ago. One of the deepest fly ball outs you will ever see here at Buena, right in front of the 380 sign. That is a shot to right center field, and it is out of here. Jon is a prophet again, predicting a home run. That one went about 385 over the fence. Brandon Brown cuts in to the lead by 1 run. It is 4-3, Nogales. Everything could score a run. This is a very intense moment here that you are seeing live all around the world. Jeff Davenport, John Berger here at Buena High School. Kyle Meyer punches it through. The game-winning base hit by Kai scores, and you can see the team going out on the field to give him some love. Buena wins 5-4 off of the base hit by Kai Erlmeyer in the bottom of the 7th.
Whoa. Man, just to see that excitement and hearing it through Jeff and you and
Jeff gets pretty pumped.
Man, just to see the excitement there at the bottom of the 7th and coming through in the clutch with Kai hitting that game-winning hit, that was beautiful. So
yeah, so that baseball game was kind of a weird pitcher's duel. There was some scoring that was being done, but the wind was so ridiculous at Buena Field
that time of year.
Yeah, I tell people one of the pitches he looked like he was throwing the heat. I think I can't remember. It wasn't Brandon. It might have been Cushman. I believe.
I think he was pitching.
Throws the ball, and it looks like a fastball, and it dies right in front of the plate, and the guy swings at it. I was just like, oh my gosh.
He's got a mean slider, for sure.
He's a ridiculous pitcher, and Coach Tommy's doing a fantastic job with those guys. Mm-hmm. That whole team is just running up the score on people. They're averaging 11 runs per game.
Man. Good stuff.
So, do you want to see the second game?
Hey, so they get a little bit of a practice in between, I'm sure, just like a solid, good 2-hour practice the next day, and then they go down the road, head down 82 west of here and head into Santa Cruz County, and then they go and play Nogales at, what's that field name? I can't remember. War Memorial.
Yeah.
I think it's War Memorial.
Man. That's an interesting field.
Very, very old field, one of the oldest in America, and you know, we go down there and just, you guys are going to see in the highlights what we did. We put on a hitting clinic in that game.
Oh, yeah. All right,
so
let's see what that was about.
Another shot at the next episode of Nogales Buena, Part 2.
That is a long fly ball to right field. The right fielder going back, shading to his right, making the catch. Jackson will tag from third and make it in. The sacrifice fly gives Buena a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 2nd. They don't even have signs how deep it is. Jeez. And that is a deep fly ball to right center field.
He got it!
Diving catch! The Angel in the outfield makes an insane diving catch. That is a shot to left center field. The center fielder shading over to left and easily makes that catch. Boy, he made that look easy too. The windup in the pitch from Montijo. That is driven into right field and will bounce in for a base hit. Top of the 4th. Big shot going up the middle. It will score 2. The throw coming into home is not in time. Beautiful job by Cole Isaacson to slide into home and avoid the tag by the catcher. A huge double by Aaron Cortez. Knocks in 2 as Buena takes a 3-1 lead with only 1 down here in the top of the 4th. And that's why Coach Tommy, we did the coach's corner with him. That pitch gets up through into left field. It will score 1. They will stop Cortez at third. But it will drive in Hunter Herbert. Nate Whitworth gets an RBI single, and Buena is up 4-1. That's a high fly ball to left field. The left fielder tracking it down. They will tag at third. Cortez racing toward home. Will make it in time, sliding in. It's 5-1 Buena. This is the biggest lead that they've had over Nogales. And the ball slips through the catcher. He doesn't know where the ball is. Skyler will advance to second. Bryson Haymore at the plate. Gets some contact, puts it through, in to left field, and they run Skyler home because the left fielder drops the ball. 6-1, Buena. Chopper to third, hopping up, catching it. Long throw to first. I don't think he was there. Yes, he didn't make it. And coming into third, and safe at third. A hustle play by Bryson Haymore. And that noise wasn't the ball hitting the stadium. That was actually hitting John's head. That is a shot to third base. He will pick up, throw all the way across the diamond, and not able to scoop it up. 1 run will score. They will send downtown Brandon Brown around, and he will score a double because of the error. The Buena Colts have batted around, and they continue the dominance. 8 runs overall, 7 here in the 4th. And that is a sharp shot to left field. The left fielder going back. It goes over his head. This could be an inside the park home run. We could be seeing it again. They're waving him all the way around. Jackson, they're going to hold him at third. Jackson stops at third.
Wow, man. Talk about just to see these guys flying around the base, just playing fundamental on offense. You put the ball in play. It's just what, Coach Tommy's doing a superb job with this program, taking it over and everything. We already know that. And just to see these kids just continue to capitalize on certain things. You just play through. You play baseball and you're smart, and you got to be on your toes with things like the overthrows at first. And there was tons of errors that were going on, and Buena was capitalizing, taking advantage of making them throw the ball, play catch, and it was just to our advantage. And wow. 14-4 was the final score at that game.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That was the first 8 runs right there.
And that's when that weird winter storm shows up in April.
Oh, dude!
And it came into the Santa Cruz area before it hit Sierra Vista.
It was so cool.
How many layers did you have on, John?
I had 4, maybe 5, and then I had to. I had to give Jeff my other jacket because it was so cold.
Goodness.
I mean, I wasn't wearing it. It was like a windbreaker, but it wasn't good.
Well,
it's not baseball weather as far as I'm concerned.
Man, it's just that was a huge 2-game stint with Buena, and gives us another 2 solid wins on the win column.
Oh,
and
yeah.
As we look before
those were considered 2 top 10 wins because they were ranked number 3 and then they were ranked number 9. So both times they beat them well. So considering those facts, like, you've got a lot of high point total wins there.
Exactly, and that put them in the column of, now they're at 7th in the state right now. Currently, it was 5A. We looked at that prior to the show starting. So without further ado, we do have a special guest joining us this afternoon. It was the guy that you saw in the first highlight. At the end of it, he hit the game-winning single up the middle. Kai Erlmeyer is in the studio. Welcome, Kai, to the Cool FM On the Field with Jon and Jarad. How you doing, big guy?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. So let's talk about the last 2 games of Nogales first. Let's you introduce yourself first.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell us about you.
So I am Kai Erlmeyer. I play for Buena. I'm a pitcher, and I also play outfield.
And you've been playing varsity how many years?
2 so far.
Okay. All right. You're a senior.
Yes, I'm a senior.
Oh man! And do you have any
offers?
scholarships?
Anything coming your way yet?
I do have a couple offers. 2 of them are from Minnesota schools, and then I'm currently talking to some of the JUCOs here in Arizona.
Awesome.
Are those schools in Minnesota, do they have indoor stadiums?
Yes, they have
Okay,
indoor stuff.
if you're playing baseball in Minnesota right now, if you think this is bad, man, Minnesota would be so brutal.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Well, that's exciting news to hear, Kai, that you're getting looked at, and you're a great ball player. You've developed very well over the years, and we're going to get into having some questions for you and fire some interview questions through your way, and just feel free to let us know whatever you want to, get off your chest with anything, or just have some fun today with that. So John, go ahead.
You play multiple positions.
Yes.
What would you say your game, like if you're going to say your game is like something, what would you say is power hitting, fielding, what are the 5 parts of baseball do you think you're in?
I think power hitting is definitely the lowest. I'm not really a power hitter.
Okay.
I'm just more of like a little contact hitter, hit like little bloopers. But I think my strongest part of the game right now is definitely my pitching. I've developed really well as a pitcher over the years, and that's the main thing that I'm getting looked at by colleges for. Cool. So that's definitely my top one. My second one is probably my outfielding. Outfielders, it's not really a hard position to play, but, being able to track down those balls that are, hit way in the gaps, or, line drives like that stuff, sometimes it's hard a little bit. But
are you right or left field?
I play left field, and then sometimes I'll play right field.
Okay, so when you were at War Memorial Field, How far back did that track go? Was that 500 feet or something like that?
It was. I'm not sure. I think their field is. I think left field is around 390.
Oh,
our center field's 390 at Buena.
Well, I thought that one at War Memorial was like 450.
It
just seemed gigantic. But oh man. Okay, Jarad.
So, got a real quick question. Want to throw to you your experience playing baseball. Describe it so far up until this point, from where you started up until where you're at right now. How long you been playing the sport, and just kind of go with.
Yeah, I've been playing the sport for probably about 12 years now.
Wow.
I started off like most kids. I played t-ball and then coach pitch majors, intermediate stuff like that. But I never really took them that serious all the way until I got to high school, and then I realized, it's kind of serious ball. And so, my freshman year I was on JV. My sophomore year I was on JV, and I was decent, but I would sometimes, go and play with the varsity. But my junior year, I really kind of kicked it up a notch, and I really took it pretty serious. Started training a lot more and started practicing a lot harder. And, now I've gotten a lot better than I was a year ago.
That's good. That's awesome to see, just how you've come along with, that's another question I have for you also with leading into to where your experience so far in baseball. How do you describe your approach now to training and conditioning?
I definitely take it a lot more serious now. I used to just kind of dread it, and I didn't really want to go to practice and stuff. But now I take it a lot more serious, and I see practice as a way to get better. And I take weight training seriously. I take my warm-up seriously because I obviously don't want to get injured, and I want to play at the next level, and if I want to do that, then I have to train hard and I have to train serious.
Okay.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh 170.
So 6 feet tall, 170?
5'10".
5'10"?
170.
Yeah. That's a baseball player size.
Yeah.
Shoot, that's about.
So you're handling of pressure and playing in high stakes games. You just had one Tuesday.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts in the batter's box with bases loaded, bottom 7?
Yeah,
was
tell us what
there
you're
one
thinking.
out? What was
Yeah,
the
there was
situation?
one out. So, the credits really all go to the team and the kids before me, because I couldn't have gotten that hit if our kids didn't, look to get on base. They definitely weren't trying to hit these long home runs or these long fly balls. They were just looking at any way to get on base, and that really set it up for me. So props go out to them. But my thought in the batter's box, I got in there.
Can we get that clip? Can we run that clip and
Yeah,
we'll
let's go.
look at it and
Yeah.
talk about it as it goes?
Here at Buena High School.
So you're in the batter's
Kyro
box.
Meyer
He
punches
hits
it
that
through.
right down
The
middle.
game-winning
Great
base hit
hitting.
by Kai
You were looking at that
scores,
pitch where
and you
it's
can see the
already
team
So
going out on the field
I was
to give him some
What was the
love.
count?
I think it was
Buena wins, 5-4.
1-0.
Okay.
So the first ball was pretty low, and so I knew he was probably going to come back with a fastball, and he ended up throwing fastball high, which is a pretty good pitch that I can hit. So as soon as he pitched it, I knew that was the ball I was going to hit. And what I really didn't want to do was hit it to the shortstop or hit it to the second baseman, because then they would have turned a double play and we would have tied the game. So I tried to just do anything I could to get it in a gap or just get it over the infield somewhere.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a nice little
Now,
shot there. That was
let's talk about that part right there. You're like, oh gosh, I'm about to get dogpiled. What are your thoughts after going around first because you hit the game-winning single?
Yeah, so I ran past first, and I turned around, and I was, shouting, and I was yelling because I was really happy. And then I just see this barrel of kids come just running at me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get absolutely. And they all just started jumping at me. They all started tackling me, and, it was a happy moment, but I think multiple people stepped on my feet. With the cleats, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
the metal cleats.
no.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it your first team winner?
Yeah.
Okay. In your entire life, or in high school baseball?
In my high school baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that was pretty exciting. Shoot, man, that's to go against the number 3 team in the state and put in the game-winning run and then pitch the way you did. I mean, you didn't give up many runs in that second game.
No.
I mean, 4 runs to 14. That's a massive difference.
Yeah. So what was Coach Fernandez and your plan going into the second game on Thursday with you pitching?
So I didn't find out I was pitching until Wednesday, and so I really only had like a day to prepare. But still, I kind of, we call it visualizing, and so I visualized all throughout the night, all throughout the day, and even on the bus ride up there, I was like, okay, I'm going to throw strikes. I'm not really going to worry about, trying to strike everybody out, because I know that I have a really good defense behind me.
Yeah.
So I was just, going to let them hit the ball because I can trust my defense behind me and stuff. But, I was really visualizing on the way up, and I really trusted myself to throw strikes, and I think I did pretty well.
Awesome. What's your favorite pitch to throw right now?
I've actually just started throwing it. It's my sinker, and it's working pretty well so far.
Good stuff.
And throwing that in the wind.
I know,
that's
at
gotta
the
be
wind, too.
Basically hitting a wall just before it
Falls off the table, as they say. It's a beautiful pitch.
So how many pitches do you have then?
So I have a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, a changeup, a sinker, slider, and a curveball.
Wow.
6.
That's a lot of pitches.
Yeah. That's good
and
stuff.
you throw them all pretty well, huh?
Yeah, the one I really only have problems with is my 2-seam. I don't know why, I just can't really locate it very well, but that's really the only one.
That might be a fun one to not be able to locate really well. It might come inside and knock someone and they're like, your intimidator pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty sweet.
So how do you feel the overall? I asked this kind of in a different setting with Brandon last week. How do you feel your communication is with your teammates? How do you guys communicate?
Our communication has actually been really good lately. We've been doing a lot of outside of practice and game team bonding stuff, and so I think that really brings our communication together, and that really brings our connection on the field.
So share like one thing that you would do.
You
team
paintball
bonding.
each other? Or?
Well, paintball, airsoft, or
like
whatever.
Sometimes we'll go out to eat.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Probably a meal.
Right after the Little League opening ceremonies, we all went to a Cafe Olé. We all ate there.
Cool.
And then usually after home games, if we win, we always go to the hot tub or the pool and just kick back and have fun.
Go over the Cove?
No, just
somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Nice.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys got a very cohesive unit. Would you say, like, as far as like previous seasons that you've played, that this is the most cohesive? Like everybody's a brother and everybody's friend. Like, is this better than it has been?
I think this year we're definitely the closest we've been in the past years, and I think we've been more bonded than ever this year, and I think that's why we're doing so well, because we know each other really good, and we trust each other a lot.
Well, you have a first-year head coach.
Yep.
So what are those differences like then?
So there definitely is a difference in personality and coaching techniques from our first-year coach and our previous coach, who's been my entire high school coach until this year. But I think our coach now, he communicates a lot better with us, and he's really fun to be around. He's a really great coach.
I saw the previous one, and that guy cannot jump. Coach Tommy might be able to do somersaults. He might be able to do backflips. That dude's still athletic.
Yeah, right.
I
flying around.
There's a visual difference, if not any other difference. But yeah, that's really cool. That Coach Tommy's a great dude too. So like I'd want to play for him for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely energetic, and he makes a difference on the field a lot.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So, you guys got about 6 or 7 games left.
Yeah.
Coming into the season, so you're looking at wrapping things up with pretty much going to have the conference title in your grasps. You know, you just keep this momentum and do what you're doing.
Yeah, keeping this momentum. 11 runs.
Yeah, you're averaging 11 runs a game.
That's not momentum. That's like a tidal wave. That's like unstoppable force. It's ridiculous how many runs you guys are putting up.
Yeah.
11 runs per game.
You know, we keep this up, and we're probably going to be looking at you guys probably top 4. And top 4 teams usually host at least 2 home games for playoffs.
Oh,
so
people coming out to play in our swirling winds with no lights. Yeah. I am gonna be there.
Yeah, man,
that's
gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
That's such a great little stadium you guys got there. I mean,
I love how it's sunken.
Like it's down, not like any I've ever seen.
It's neat.
That's why it's cool. Like every baseball stadium has a weird little quirk to it. And Douglas is wild. Douglas
is something else, isn't it?
Bisbee's a weird one too.
The big old oleander bushes on the outside.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Well, Kai, that's so cool. Do you have any final questions for Kai before we move into that final segment?
Funniest childhood story. Come on, lay it on us.
I don't really know.
Just think of something. Think of something to share with all of your mom and dad are just gonna roll when they see this on the show later. You're like, okay, you brought this up, really?
I swear everybody's got a story sticking a fork in the light socket. So I've heard that one twice.
Something, right?
But Kelty said she made someone eat some cow patty. I think she made her brother eat a cow patty. Man, you kids out here in Cochise County are rough rolling.
Anything you think of, Kai?
Well, one time I was trying to cook ramen in like this rapid ramen cooker. So you put the ramen in it, and then you put like water in it, and you put it in the microwave, and it cooks it. But I didn't put water in it, so I just threw it in there, and then like after a couple minutes, I'm like, what's that smell? And it started like smoking and getting all weird, and my brother comes running in, he opens it up, and it's like burning. There's like no water in there.
And you're like, I'm a firefighter's son.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah. I was like,
my dad's gonna whoop me. Oh no.
No, dude. Firefighters' kids are the ones that build the fires. Yeah, Boy Scouts and firefighters' kids, man. We play with fire. So.
Well, Kai, thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
Such a great job. Yeah. And your baseball skill is it's incredible. We hope that the rest of your season goes very well, and keep it up with the books. What's your grade point average?
I believe it's not very good right now. I believe it's a 2.9.
Well, everybody says it's not very good, and then you ask me what I graduated with, and you're gonna be like, you're not allowed to talk to kids anymore. My 1.7 GPA.
Wow.
You didn't see his face. Wow. He's a teacher.
Hey.
He went.
Come on, John.
His face. I got A's in college though, so.
Hey. So
how do you get to college?
We do have one thing we want to lead into. We have people that have previously been on the show, and this kid currently is at UMass.
Oh yeah,
Giovanni Borbone, and he was recently interviewed by his people there at UMass, and we wanted to share some quick info. We can share a little video about what his progress is going on through his spring season so far. And
former quarterback.
And you'll see he transitions into long snap, and he talks about it.
And he's been on the show. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have him back on again as soon as he comes back into town. So we'll have a little bit of a fun video real quick and talking to a Division I football player.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yep.
Have a good rest of the weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Talk about what's the process? When did you know you wanted to be a long snapper? What's the process of being able to do that? And
I would say it's a crazy process when I'm explaining this to people other than people that know football. I started playing quarterback in high school. I was a 4-year varsity quarterback. Initially went to junior college to play free safety. Played a little bit of free safety in 2020. It was COVID. And just found out real fast that wasn't going to work out. Not strong enough, not really big enough. Head coach, we didn't have a long snapper on the junior college team. My head coach comes up to me and, can you snap? Kind of was like playing quarterback upside down. So kind of clicked fast. Came back my second year of junior college, I started snapping. Went to camps. I was training with Kyle Stelter, Special Teams U. Flew out to Wisconsin, was training a bunch of guys out there. Initially just picked it up quick. And then SMU offered me in May of that second year of junior college. Went to SMU, did my thing ever since then. I've been snapping, so picked it up fast. And I wouldn't say I chose this life as a specialist, but I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's great.
You may not have chosen it, but how do you go about embracing it?
Man, it's a process, like Coach just said, from the head down. You know, like our physical job is so intense and to a T. You know, we don't do our job for one play. It sets off the momentum of the whole game. I mean, it's just the detail. The craziest of detail with long snapping. You would think I talked to my coach about sequencing of snaps. You would think I'm out there just throwing the ball between my legs. You know, there's a lot more than that when it comes to when we're scoring and when we're going in situations in the game. I have to mentally prepare myself to just next play at a time. Mistake here, mistake there, I'm next play, I can't. Just like a quarterback, situation kind of goes back and forth. So,
no, you kind of just mentioned it, but talk about really the importance of your position and, you know, pressure kicks and situations like that. I mean, you really have to execute.
Being poised, I mean, I think is the biggest thing in my position, and I think I handle it well in the sense of the way I grew up playing quarterback, throwing an interception, next play, long snap. It's the same thing. You know, have to be a perfectionist, but when something does occur, miss a block or there's error on certain things, you know, it's just cliche, but it has to be the next play. It has to be, and we got a game-winning field goal coming up, and I'm still thinking about the next snap. I'm wrong, you know, and I'm doing it for the benefit of my team to clear my mind, get to the sideline, talk to my coaches, and just kind of, it's a day-by-day thing. It's a week-by-week, you know, next week, next play, next practice, next rep. So it's a process for sure.
How have you enjoyed Coach Castellito's process so far?
Man, if I could say one thing about being at UMass, it's that man right there, honestly. You know, this is not me speaking because we have a good relationship. It's me coming from a point where I had to make certain pivots in my football career to be where I'm at now. And him believing in me and him putting me in position to succeed, and him, the way he allows me the opportunity to be a leader in the room with the team. And no, it's just great. Like, other than football, like our relationship outside of football is why I believe I'm here. You know, it's just a belief. Every athlete comes from different standpoint, but him believing in me that I can do it myself, you know, it just speaks volumes. And I'm here to, you know, just do my best I can for this university, for Coach Cass, for Coach Harry.
Is there a specific example from him?
I mean, example of just being a perfectionist. You could say my practices are pretty easy, and in a sense from where I came from, you know, I wasn't doing a whole lot at practice. Man, here I do the tackling circuit. I come back, I'm blocking. I'm everywhere. Like, it's the most I've ever done. It makes me feel good. I'm tired, but it makes me feel like I'm more a part of a team. It makes me feel like playing free safety again. So it's just the way he incorporates me throughout the team, allows me to have a voice and allows me to lead. It speaks volumes to just me as a person, my family, when I'm calling home and telling them how I like it here. It's just, that's the reason why, you know, I enjoy UMass so much.
Would you say that's probably the biggest difference? I know you've been a lot of places, so just the fact that you're more involved.
Man, just the fact I'm more involved and more, I feel like I'm a born natural leader, and being able to lead not only in the spectrum, being able to lead as a voice throughout the facility. And I will preach and harp on the way our facility is structured. It allows us to cross paths every day. You know, it's weird to say, but I mean, I have a relationship with Coach Anderson. I mean, from Seth the media to the janitor. Like, you're crossing paths with the coaching staff every single day. Certain programs, you know, you don't see the coaches. You don't speak to the head guy. Coach Harry comes in our room every day. You know, it's the relationship we built with the coaching staff. This is the closest I've ever been to a coaching staff in my whole time playing college football. This is the strongest I've ever been. The weight staff. This is the fastest I've ever been. And it's just I'm blessed to be in the spot I'm now, truthfully.
How did that relationship with Coach Cass start? Talking about the beginnings of that relationship.
Oh, you said what?
Your relationship with Coach Cass. What was the beginnings of that relationship?
Yeah, I mean, he as I was in the portal, I woke up one morning on a Friday, had a missed call from the area code I didn't know, and I piped it in. I'm like, Buffalo, like, oh no, freezing. I'm from Arizona, and so I call him back. You know, Coach Cass at UMass. And ever since that first phone call, I knew, like, this has to be my coach. I mean, my mom and I came on a visit, and instantly fell in love with the coaching staff. Like I said, how they treated me, how they treated my mom. You know, they essentially made it feel like she got the scholarship. And truthfully, she did. I mean, it's put me in the position I am now, and my relationship with Coach Cass, with this coaching staff, is, like I said, it's unbelievable. Like, I would never expect it to be like this, and so trusting in me to lead, so trusting in me to use my voice. But like I said, from the top to the bottom to the top, it's closest to the team I've ever been. You know, I'm O-line to running backs to receivers to everyone. It's just, I felt at home. Truthfully, I felt at home. So,
have you crossed paths with Coach Jim Reed, and what has he meant to you?
I have. That's another one I don't even speak about. I joke with him every day. He's one of those coaches where it's like an OG of OG. You feel like he has so much knowledge that I think like I could just watch him, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks to us as a professional, as an adult. You know, I love seeing it. The coaching staff we have is top tier, and like I said, from the bottom to the top, it's like, what can I complain about? What can I not take for granted? What to not to do in situations where times might get tough, times might get hard, but this coaching staff is to lean on them and to use them as an opportunity. For me, it's endless opportunity, it's endless blessings. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Talk about.
Man, what an incredible update to see. Come back and
look how big those arms
I know.
are.
I was just talking. I've been texting with him. I'm like, you got a little bit of size that we need to talk about. He goes, yeah, Coach, I've already put on 12 pounds since I got here.
Since we talked to him last.
Since we saw him at Christmas. So, you know, big things are happening for that young man, and he's got PR numbers, and PRR numbers are what the pros look at for long snapping. So we might be seeing something next April 26th. Seeing that draft come around, third, fourth round, we might see Giovanni Borbone's name pop up on a team somewhere, and I can't wait to see that. I hope it's Arizona. I'd love to see him be a Cardinal.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Be on the sidelines with him at his games. It'd be sweet to see. But hands out, you're just incredible kid, and we'd love to see him doing all he's doing. So
you know, he's putting his safety work to. He was saying how he's been working on tackling dummies too. That's not something you see a lot in the NFL. Is those guys going down and tackling people.
True. So we got a little bit of a lead into next week in our next
we got
week's
some scores coming up. So this week for Buena. So we got Pueblo. Can I say the name
there you go.
wrong?
You've been there. You've been there with me. We were up in that big old area, and it was 100 degrees at that game, that football game.
Man,
Pueblo. I don't know what their rankings are looking like right now in baseball, but they can put a decent team on the field, but it doesn't matter with the opponent. Buena's going to just take it to these guys.
So it's Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
Friday we've got the Badgers.
The Badgers that beat us in football.
Tucson High is going to be playing against Buena, and that's a 6A school.
Oh my God!
So you go and beat the Badgers.
Yeah.
That's even putting you a little bit more on the map, even more. You know, you got a 6A opponent, and you go up there and whoop them. Is it a home game? Might have to see if it's an away game or a home game.
I'm not sure.
Kai's still in the studio. I think we have a home game on Friday.
I think it's away.
Away game. Okay, so Cherry Field. Cherry Field, if you guys go in Keno Avenue, take that exit in, and you're coming around that corner right before you get to the U of A. It's a big, huge baseball complex right there. That's where they're going to be playing. So if you want to john up the road to Friday and watch some Friday night baseball, 5A, 6A baseball, get up there and watch them and show these Colts some love.
Hopefully we don't need to wear sweatshirts this time.
It's going to be 90 by Friday here,
so
John.
Only two
so
sweatshirts.
I don't think we're going to have them. Yeah, maybe down to 2 sweatshirts for you. So let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about the national title game tomorrow.
Oh, dude!
How many people's brackets just got totally ruined last
My
night?
heart is ripped out of my chest. I wanted Duke. I'm a Duke fan going all the way back my entire life. My dad didn't play. He went to Duke. So like as a kid, we always got stickers and helmets and basketballs. So a lot of my childhood knowing basketball, that was Christian Laettner and Grant Hill and man, Bobby Hurley. I could name just so many of those dudes. I've always enjoyed watching Duke players. And they got, no, they didn't get smoked, but they got smoked in the last, what would you say?
7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 minutes, where it was a 15-2 run to finish the game. And I'm not a huge fan. My dad was like...
I love the quote at the end of the game. Someone had asked Calvin Sampson, he said, what are your thoughts? He goes, Duke this, Duke that. Everybody's Duke everything. He says, don't ever sleep on Houston. And I was like, wow.
I mean, right?
I mean, it was really neat to see some of the alumni there. You got Jim Nance.
Elijah won?
I know.
Dude,
I know. I was
Drexler,
about to say, did you see Hakeem?
Dude.
He looked like he could still get on the court.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, I got to look at his stats. He averaged 3 blocks a game and almost 13 rebounds. And somewhere
in a much more defensive NBA.
Dude, whole different world. I'm like,
whole different
he might have
type
been,
of NBA.
Yeah, I was looking
30
at
years
some
ago.
of those guys, and I'm like, man, where does he rank with Wilt and then Shaq and then Sabonis and all, through my mind, it's just like this conglomerate of like every player ever. He's good.
So I hate to say it, I like how Florida came and took it to Auburn,
Florida,
but
Houston. Well,
Houston's got the bigger chance right now. I think they've got some depth, and
I think
we'll
it's
have to see
Florida.
what happens.
Honestly, I get the feeling it's Florida. They remind me of the old Florida team that won. They won the back-to-back with that dude with the gap teeth and the weird hair, Joakim Noah.
There you go.
Oh man,
ended up being a Bull.
Yeah, he was a great player,
for a long time.
Starter. But those guys are different. College basketball players are not NBA players, and that's why you see so much success from teams that don't have a lot of NBA players on them all the time. Sometimes you get, the team is so stacked like Duke, and then you draft them all in the first round. They're incredible. But you get a team like Houston might have one first rounder. That dude with the dreads that's a point guard knocked down that crazy 3. Those guys don't make it to the NBA, but they're awesome. Anyway.
Yeah. So great show. We got Pueblo coming up at doubleheader with them this week, and we got the Tucson Badgers wrapping up the week for Buena baseball.
We'd like to thank Morse Automotive, of course. They do a great job, and we very much thank them for
all their support,
taking care of us. Yeah, we'd also like to thank American Southwest Credit Union.
Once again.
Yeah, and we've also got the golf tournament coming up in 2 weeks, so it's T-minus 2 weeks until the golf tournament. So if you want to come out and play.
Is this to continue to the skins game?
Yes, it's already got $270 in the pot.
Yeah.
So nobody won any skins. So we got the closest to the pin. 2 guys won closest to the pin. Nobody hit the hole-in-one. So tons of money to be won out there on the golf course. Highly recommend coming out. There's a lot of sports going on, but I mean, right now, just
might be able to try and see if we could cover a track meet this week. I heard there's a home track meet at Buena.
I got to do that.
April 9th, so it's going to have a track meet against Tombstone, and I might be doing the PA announcing for that.
You might be. All right. Well, yeah. I might come up and say hi to you then.
All right. We'll look forward to it. So.
All right, Jarad Young, thank you so much, man.
Awesome show again, sir, and thank you so much to Todd Van Ryan and all the Cool FM staff. Lovely everybody. Dan, the man over here, doing a superb job with all of our wonderful layout in the studio here. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time on the field with Jon and Jarad. And have a great weekend and stay classy.
This presentation of On the Field with Jon and Jarad brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group right here on Cool FM Live. Tune in weekly on Sundays for new episodes.